Hi Fatima and Esther, it's Miss ILene, and I just wanted to upload this video to talk about adult coloring for you to help you along, Fatima. And today I'm going to talk about this picture that I just completed and some of the special effects. Now, the main thing in adult coloring is that you want to take your time to color the pages. This is not something that you rush through. I cannot emphasize that more. The whole point of adult coloring is just not to scribble color on a page and finish the page. It's to show that you have thought about what you're doing and that you create special effects with the particular elements and pages and things that you're doing on the drawing. I mean, anybody that's not skilled can just basically color between the lines, but really, ultimately, it's what you do with it that makes it look special, that brings it into the adult coloring arena. So when you go to color something, don't think that you're just going to sit down and finish something that night. This drawing took me, oh my gosh, a lot of hours to do because I took my time. And so I'm going to show you some of the special features of this particular drawing that I think make it special. And I'm hoping that when you color, you will look at the same types of things. All right, so I'm going to rotate the camera here. Bear with me. First thing I want to show you, and I don't know how well this is going to show up, but I decided on the fish that I did that I was going to go ahead and do something special with them. And what I did, I'm going to raise the page and see if I can show you this under the light. See how that shines? Let's see if we can get that for you. Wow. There, you can catch it just a little bit under the light here. There you go. See how that shines? Okay, these are the Faber-Castell copper and gold pencils. And it's this one, and let's see if I can find my copper real quick. And that one. And they're really neat. They're metallic pencils and they make a shine on the particular thing that you're coloring. So what I decided to do for all these fish is I decided to make them metallic. And I thought that that would be kind of cool. See that little guy right there? Come on, get into focus. He's metallic. Everybody's metallic. These guys are metallic. So for consistency, I decided to make them all the same. So that's a special thing that I did with the fish. And they're really pretty. I mean, this one's copper, the copper, and then the gold bubbles. This one I made gold with a copper body. And I just did different variations of the copper and the gold. And I just thought it really turned out pretty. Okay, so that took time. Then, the next thing I did, and I think that you remember this from the tutorial that I sent you, is the video on how to do 3D effects on your drawing. So these are all the bubbles. And basically she told you to color it in with a light color and then use the dark color as the backwards C. So I actually ended up using the same pencil and I did it really light and then I just did it really firmly with that same pencil to get the dark. So as long as you get two different colors and variation, you'll be okay with the 3D. Where it really came out neat, and I'm hoping you can see this, look at the rocks. Every single one of those look like it's a stone on there. It just doesn't look flat to the page. And again, that took time. I didn't just draw in the brown and color in the brown and then go with that. So these are all little special effects you can do. Then we talked about the blending pencil and where I did the waves. So I talked to you about that, the dark blue, the light blue, and then the wave, and that I used the pencil to get those colors. And here's the pencil right there. I'm just using it as my pointer this time. Alright, so let's see what else I did. So you got that. And the next thing I did, I'm going to talk about the starfish. The starfish, I decided, oh, there's a little white on that guy too. Whoop, let me see where he is. Right there. So I'm just going to scrub that. A little scrubber. There we go. Fix that. There. The starfish, I decided to make all one color just to kind of make it uniform. And so every single starfish that you see here, or anything that's a star, I made that brown color. Now, the interesting thing is, and I don't know if you've thought about this, but you can also add lines to your coloring pages. And I did that in several cases. I added design elements. First of all, on the starfish, I added these black little dots. So the center one was there, but then I took a black pen, a gel pen, and I added these dots. And I really liked the effect. I added those dots on the corner. I added these sets of 2 dots on each starfish. Here, the center one was there, and these 1, 2, 3, 5 were there, and then I added the extra dot on the very outside. So I thought that was pretty cool. And again, the thing that I did it with, and pull out, is just a simple gel Pilot pen. Now don't get too thin of a line. The Pilot G607 pen, you can buy them in Walmart. And the other place where I added lines with that pen is on this tail, on the cat's tail. I added this angle line and I added this angle line. I thought that would be really cool. So instead of coloring this tail one color, which would have been the light purple or pink if you want to call it that, I went ahead and added these 2 lines and I made contrasting colors on the cat. Now, you got to be really careful about doing that because a lot of artists that make these coloring pages, they add a bunch of design elements, you know, like the star and the triangle and the circle, and you don't want it looking too busy. I didn't add anything on the face because I thought that that was enough. Like I said, I just added these 2 simple lines. So that made a really nice effect. Let's see what else I did. Okay, on the inner tube, I put a little bit of gray underneath each arm of this design element. So in other words, I colored everything in, and I colored the red in the center, the circle, the orange. I did not color these spokes. I left them the white color, but I put a little gray line, and if you look at all of them, it gives them a slight 3-dimensional effect. Now, you can also see where I did that on the waves. You see that little gray underneath? See the little gray right here? I did it all across. I did it there, 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 and I did it there. See? And it makes a 3-dimensional effect. I did it on the waves above there. And I also, and you got to be careful, I did it around the outside of the inner tube. See? So you can see that there. Let's see where else. Okay, well that's it for now. So that made it look really neat. And I also added the little shading underneath the waves at the top as well. So it gives a really nice effect. The other thing I did is on the cat, I of course did the eyes the green. In this particular book, this is all cats. Let me show you the cover. Creative Cats. And see, the way that the artist did the lines were the green. So just for fun, what I decided to do on every one of my cats, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make the eyes green with a little bit of yellow. Just because, just to make it a consistent design element through everything. I thought that would be neat. But then I also added a little bit of shading on the face. As you can see the dark, you can see it right here. It looks like the outline of the nose. I put it around the eye, and I put it just around the inside of the eye. I didn't come all the way over with it. I just stopped right there, just to define it a little bit. So on the other eye, you can see it here across the top, and just under the eye a little bit. And then down, which goes right into the nose, I colored this in gray, and then I did a lighter gray and then a little bit pink at the bottom, added some pink in the ears, and then took a white pencil and added a little bit of white to add some color there, or depth. So again, these are all little touches that you can add to the pages when you do your adult coloring. On the octopus, I did the normal coloring, but I also added the little bit of gray on the outside just to give it that 3D effect. And again, I'm hoping that you can see it in this video. Let me get real close. There you go. See? Just a really light gray so that it adds just a little bit of a shadow. All right, and then when I did the sun, I noticed that the pattern around here looked like waves. And initially I wasn't going to add any blue in anything except the blue down here because I wanted to let it be the water. But you know, since that looked like waves, I thought, hey, that's really cool. So I went through and I colored these as the waves. Remember I told you with the blending pencil that you just bring the blue up to the top. So I did that. I did it here. Now I didn't add any gray here to give it a 3D effect. I may go ahead and do that now that I'm talking about it. I just didn't do it and really didn't think about it, so I'll probably do that. And then the other thing I did, look at the nice 3D effect with the spokes on the sun. Now the way I did that is there's actually 4 colors on this, well 3 colors. There's a very, very light pink, so I went through and I did every single arm a very light pink, very soft, very light pink. Then I went back through and colored in a little bit of slightly darker orange, and let me get close. See, so I put the orange on the bottom like this, and then I went up with the orange and I pulled it up with my blender pencil, okay? And then I took a little bit of brown and put the brown along each side. Now this has nothing to do with shading, I just wanted to give it a texture. So I've got the brown in here, and then I went back again and I added the gray underneath right here to give it the 3-dimensional effect. So I've got 4 colors on here, very light pink on the whole thing, orange, which was on the bottom and then scrubbed up with my blending pencil, brown that I brought up along the side, and then the shadow effect, which I added right here by adding a little bit of gray underneath. So all in all, you can see, and I'm going to turn my whole thing here for you so you can see. Whoop. All in all, you can see again that I didn't just go in and scribble in my colors. I put in a lot of thought to where my colors were going to go. I added design items like the dots on the starfish, and I added shading, and I added the extra line on the tail like I told you, and I added the coloring around the eyes. So these are the types of things now that I want you to think about when you're coloring, that what extra things can you add to your drawing to make them look really neat and look like you spent time with it. So I'll pull out one more time so you can see the whole thing. I love that 3D effect with the stones and the bubbles. I thought that was pretty cool. And I hope you like what you see. I hope this video helps you. And do me a favor, as I send these videos, please let your mom know if they help you, and then she can let me know by messaging me over Facebook. All right, guys, that's it. This is Miss ILene for Adult Coloring. Have a nice evening.